This weekend, World Teachers' Day is being observed globally, and the theme this year, Empowering Educators, Strengthening Resilience, Building Sustainability, highlights just how teachers drive sustainable development by equipping learners with skills, nurturing resilience and promoting positive change in their communities. Education lead at Citizen Leader Lab, Ridwan Samodien, joins us now for more. Good evening and thank you for taking the time to chat with us this evening.
Good evening, Juliet, and good evening to all your viewers out there. Absolutely delighted to join you on the eve of World Teachers' Day, a special day in the calendar of all our teachers here. Thank you for having me.
Tell me, how is the role of teachers evolving to foster resilience and sustainability in schools as well as communities?
You see, what I want to say, firstly, sometimes we look at the black spot on the white page and we think that it's all doom and gloom, but there are pockets of excellence, maybe not pockets, but reservoirs of excellence permeating the corridors of many of South African schools. And many of them are showing grit and resilience, akin to recently South Africa being awarded an accolade for the country that shows the most grit and resilience. And on top of that, being also awarded as the friendliest country in the world amongst those judged. And so we have a lot going for us. And yes, we have a lot to do to move the needle forward. And so in very briefly, just to answer your question, everything stands or falls on leadership. And everyone in the school setup is a leader, even the children. And so we need to find the ways to support our leaders so that they can do and bring the gifts that they have offered to bring into the space. And so with that being said, that teaching is a work of heart. We work with hearts and minds of our children. And when we win their hearts, we win the hearts of our parents, and then they gift us their hands. And when we have the hands and the hearts of our parents, then we can build resilience, we can build sustainability, and we can take the school forward. And so what I normally say is that the primary job of a school leader, the principal, is to strive towards organizational well-being. And we achieve that by saying, how do we build stronger relationships? A well-known former South African once said, Colin Hall, that relationships are all that we have. And that ties so beautifully in with Maya Angelou's words of, people remember you what you gave them or what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And this is what is called upon our leaders to build strong, deep relationships, build on the values of Ubuntu. So, and claiming back that it takes a village to raise a child.
Indeed.
And in so doing...
Yes.
Sorry? Okay.
Indeed, and I absolutely agree with you, and some really beautiful sentiments that you've shared with us there, especially that Maya Angelou quote is one of my favorites. But I want you to tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that educators face in under-resourced and disadvantaged communities.
Yeah, look, we know that we are 30 years into democracy and still there's the fight to eradicate pit latrines. So having said that, I know of a high school that achieves 96% pass rate, but this particular high school, and I know there are many others, don't even have a computer lab. And so there are many schools that lack the resources. They have challenging and poor maintenance, if you can use that word, resources and infrastructure, large class sizes, limited support. Teachers are highly emotional, stressed out and many of them burnt out. I mean, I read a report that says that many teachers want to leave the profession simply because of the high levels of stress and burnout that they face. And this is exacerbated by ill-disciplined learners who's in the system but who's not willing or have the attitude to learn. Sometimes even challenges from difficult parents, when parents become even more difficult, that really exacerbate the problem. Then, of course, the old thing of, our country's economy is not growing at the rate that we would want to see. And as a result, we still face huge pockets of poverty. And with that, we have had the debilitating effects of of our forebears, our ancestors, you know, the colonialism, the apartheid, etc., etc. And many of those remnants still sits in our DNA. And this is exacerbated by drug abuse, by bullying, gang violence, still affecting our communities. I mean, you know, when you read a news bulletin, almost every news bulletin speaks about somebody who sadly lost his life. And many times it's young children who suffer at the hands of what is happening in our communities here.
Mr. Samodien, I want to end this off on a positive note, and if you could keep your answer brief, we are running out of time so fast.
Okay.
Sometimes teachers' roles extend beyond the classroom and into, communities as community leaders and change agents. Tell us quickly and briefly a little bit more about that and how they can help and improve.
Yeah, teaching is the mother of all professions, and we teachers need to claim back the prestige we once had in the community. And so we need to continue to be the role models that we once were and still is. We need to be community builders to build a bridge between the school and society, promoters of active citizen, and get our young people to be able to one day fulfill their place in society and instill the kind of education that will prepare him for work that still does not exist, that is still going to be created. And lastly, most importantly, in line with Ubuntu, we need to teach teachers to be the voices for justice, to speak out about inequality, exclusion, and fight for human rights and justice in the broader sense, so that we can all create the future that we want for our beautiful South Africa.
Thank you so much. That was Education Lead at Citizen Leader Lab, Ridwan Samodien, chatting to us this evening.